Good morning, everybody, and thank you for hanging out with me. Welcome to my craft room. So I was asked to make some Halloween cards, and I went to Hobby Lobby, and these are the papers that I found. They're not exactly what I want. They don't exactly scream Halloween. 4 of them are okay, but they're not exactly what I was looking for. So I decided I'm going to create my own, and I wanted to show you how. So as I'm getting everything ready and showing off these beautiful papers, hit that like bell, smash subscribe, and let me know what you think and if you like these videos. So again, I wanted to just share this technique. This is something that I've had to learn to do as a crafter if I can't find exactly what I want. So these are examples of some patterned papers that I created using simple stamps and ink. So we have some candles, some spider webs. I love that pumpkin. The witch's hat. Now the witch's hat and the candles are both on a textured paper, so it gave it a distressed look, which I thought just made it feel extra Halloweenish. Now, sometimes you'll make mistakes when you make your pattern paper, like you'll see on this jack-o'-lantern page as well as this little pumpkin page. And that's okay. Mistakes happen. The paper's still good. It can still be used. You'll just want to hide it under something. If you can't hide it, just trim it off. It's all good. It's all about using what you have and not stressing over the little details. And again, I love that pumpkin so much that I made another patterned paper with it and had it going in all sorts of different directions, and I just absolutely loved it. Now, all of these papers that I'm doing were used from scrap paper. I get my scrap papers and scrap packs from Walmart or Hobby Lobby, and they're either textured or they're smooth. Now, this stamp that I'm using, it is a rather large stamp. So I wasn't 100% sure if I liked it, if it would turn out well, because it's harder to get a good repeating pattern with a larger stamp on a small sheet of paper. So just keep that in mind as you're deciding what to do. Now, I like my patterned papers to continue beyond the page. So you'll see that I am going to stamp off of the page, and you have to be aware when you do that that you have wet ink that will be left behind unless you're using a piece of paper underneath your paper you're stamping on. You're going to have wet ink. I'm using a glass, the Tim Holtz Glass Tonic multimedia mat. Silicone mats will do the same thing. It'll leave behind wet ink. So you'll want to make sure that you wipe that up. See, I got ink all over the back little bit there and it's smeared. You'll be able to see it here in just a second. See, right there. So make sure you wipe it up. Keep your baby wipers. I'm using a ink chamois and a dry towel just to wipe off my surface and make sure it's dry. And then you can get right back to it. So you'll want to do what's pleasing to you. For me, as I said before, I like the images to flow off of the page. I think it gives it more visual interest, and it's not as one-dimensional, I want to say. It just kind of, it looks better to me. But it's a personal preference. Whatever you like, you do you. So I continue to do this. And I apologize if you guys notice cuts in the video. I do have a 8-month-old Shepsky puppy. You'll see her run behind me in a little bit. And so I had to keep pausing to go deal with her because she keeps trying to play with the cat. So at this point, I really, like I said at the beginning, I wasn't 100% sure if I liked this pattern, but it has grown on me. And I think it actually turned out really well. And you want to, when you do these, if you're going to take the images off the page, even just those tiny little marks I'm making at the bottom there, it just kind of gives it a little bit more something. And there's the finished product for the moons. I think it turned out really well. I wasn't sure whenever I first started. Now, with the jack-o'-lantern, I wanted to do something different. And again, this is a brand new ink, or excuse me, brand new stamp. It had never been used before, and I wasn't sure how the ink would behave on it. Sometimes with these solid stamps, the ink doesn't want to spread as well, especially as a dye-based ink, which is what I'm using. I'm currently using the Memento Potter's Clay. against an orange piece of paper that's very smooth. Now, because it is a dye-based ink, it didn't give me a solid image, and it's more of a distressed look. And I think that worked out really well, considering pumpkins have a lot of pock marks and different discolorings and stuff like that. They're very visually interesting, and I think it just kind of lent to the image. So just be aware whenever you decide to do this that you need to you might want to do a test and see how your ink will behave on the page. Now, I did not show this on camera, but I did try to do the ghost that you'll see at the very end and the bat that I didn't actually show. I decided to do a different type of bat. And the inks that I had they didn't look right with the distressed feel. I thought it was just too much with the background, and the paper color itself will also affect how that distress ink looks. So right now it looks nice because it's on an orange background, and it kind of gives it a little bit more of a depth of color. But on just a plain white sheet of paper, it looks like it didn't stamp good. So just play around with it, do a sample stamping, and see if you actually like it and if you think you can make it work. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Here's some of the ones that I've created. We've got the candles, the spider webs, jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe and smash that like bell. Smash like and the bell so that you'll get any kind of notifications when I upload a new video. Leave me a comment letting me know if you like these types of videos. I'm very new to this, so this is something different. So their bats are one that I made off camera there. And there's the little ghost. And they turned out better, changing up the color of the background and the ink. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope I was able to provide you with something helpful. Have a great day.